Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video, I'm going to take a look at an updated build for the good old, not recruitment guilder. This is Jeice and Burter. Jeice and Burter are a tag switch unit, red and blue, no surprises there, and they are very, very good. They are very, 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 very good. Their new unique is the main reason why you're seeing this video. So if you have them as characters and you've had them for a while, or you've just got them in a summon, you're probably wondering, right, well, what should I build them with? This new unique that's come out is very crucial towards their performance. Very, 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 very important. So it has a very significant effect. It's not like a fly-by-night unique. It's a very huge stat buff. It's very akin to like a full-on plat for like a Legends Limited, etc. So it's a very, very high level equipment. So I'm going to go through their passive, but I won't talk distinctively about all of their numbers in direct detail in regards to the passive, especially the ones that are going to change with the unique. So I'll mention it obviously, but then we'll just kind of talk more about the impact that their kit's going to have with the upgraded stats. So Jeice and Burter, switch character, Jeice red, Burter blue. Jeice, when he switches, will restore health, restore key, 20% to damage up, and restore own vanishing gauge by 70. That's the really cool thing about Jeice and Burter. They're a vanishing gauge unit. That always has big implications, you know. When you think of vanishing gauge units, you know, that always has a significant component to it when you talk about like what units are good and bad and everything like that. So it's definitely something I do suggest overall. But yeah, all in all, really, 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 really good, switch. Damage inflicted, all that's going to change. It's not really too much of a big issue. When there's a tag, you new force attack, freezer, saga, battle member other than this character in the party, plus 15% to damage inflicted, plus 30% to key recovery. When he enters the battlefield, damage up, blast damage up, nullify enemy special action cover changes, which is always good, reduce enemy key effects, and then obviously an increase to attribute 10% damage received. When the enemy's attack is over, you'll get a huge special damage boost, and this is really the big thing with them. They are a special damage boost character. They are fundamentally that way inclined, so it's definitely something I do suggest. Pride of the Elite Squad, the following effects occur when considering a cover change. Draw a special arts card, randomly destroy an enemy's card, inflict all enemies with minus 30% health restoration. But ultimately, yeah, it's just a very, very good unit, and it essentially comes down to being very similar to Riku and Gildo. The way they work functionally is basically they are constantly improving their special move arts damage and resetting them or switching between the two. Resets Vanishing Step. They also have plus 20% damage to allies from their green card, which is really, really good. And the blue card is very, very good because it charges their own switch gauge as well, which obviously in turn charges their Vanish Restoration. Jeice is essentially the exact same thing Burter is the exact same thing as Jeice. The only difference is when Burter switches back to Jeice, he instead gains damage inflicted buffs, which is very, very important. You then nullify enemy special cover change as well. So it's really just about switching between the two and trying to get that really good timing of basically spamming special moves. You switch, spam special move, switch again, spam special move. Burter comes with some nice Dragon Ball control as well. When changing cover, the enemy will lose Dragon Balls as well, which is very, very important. And then obviously when he performs his first Vanishing Step, he will restore his own Vanishing Step once off, which is great. So you can kind of almost get 3 quick Vanishing Steps in succession. You get first from Jeice, you get a second from switching to Burter, and then Burter, when he does another, will restore his Vanishing Step gauge again. So just makes them very, very strong and very, very potent, which I think is always really good. The unique equip that they got is huge. It's a big stat boost. Big numbers we're talking. Very similar to kind of like big time uniques for Aleph, special units, etc. You got base health up 15%, 50% strike defense, blast defense, 100% damage guard, which is huge, 130% to damage inflicted, base strike, base blast, special move damage up 20%, all huge numbers. And then you get the third slot, which is also very important. Drawing one card if you've got 3 or fewer. You've also got plus 30 key when an enemy's defeated. You also get plus 20% to damage. You also get 10% to damage guard. And this is all important because it makes the final Ginyu Force member, whichever one it is, Raccoon, Jeice, Burter, Gildo, Ginyu, it makes them hit like an absolute machine. Really, they intend to stack these buffs up like you can't believe. And I think it's a very, very important component of how they work. It's very, very, very crucial. So I think the equip is very good. It's more raw stats, like the third slot's not necessarily a whole new passive, but it just helps the team. The team still has good mechanics. Like Burter and Jeice don't need to restore their vanishing step any more faster or quicker than they can. And same with Raccoon and Gildo, they don't need to have any more debuffs than they do. And you look at Ginyu doesn't need to technically have more mechanics. The only thing I'd say is they obviously lack endurance. Outside of Ginyu's revival, there's no one that can truly eat some damage, like big time damage, except for maybe Raccoon. So you do have that slight problem, that kind of possibility for a unit to get blown up, which can happen from time to time. Obviously, fully maxing out the equipment helps. Getting better Zenkais helps as well. Getting those raw stats all really helps. But at the stars you're going to have sparking units at, unless you've got them at like fully red or something, at the functionality you're going to have them at, and how you're going to integrate everything. Just don't think that it's enough. That's why I say they're not a top team. They'll be a really fun team, most definitely, but they won't be a top team. And that's why.